Hey folks, this is the Nutty Knife Guy, and I am going to be bringing you another knife, and I will be telling you about that shortly. First, I want to tell you that I have started a Nutty Knife Guy BitChute channel. It's the Nutty Knife Guy over at BitChute. Just go to BitChute, search Nutty Knife Guy. You'll find me. From now on, everything I post on YouTube is going on BitChute. Because I don't have any way of knowing it, but I think that BitChute is going to, YouTube is going to become unfriendly to anything that might even be remotely related to weaponry. So, BitChute. That having been said, this is the Timberwolf Daniel Boone Bowie knife. Now, it says it's the Daniel Boone Bowie knife on Amazon where I bought it, but it doesn't say anything about it being a Daniel Boone Bowie in the box that it came in. The Daniel Boone thing, I am sure, is just marketing. I could not find any historical references, and I looked about Daniel Boone carrying a knife of this type. And this is a budget Bowie. It's a Timberwolf, so it was like 21 bucks, but darn, isn't it pretty. So, first impressions, I really like it. We'll go out to the war post in a little bit. And what we're going to do is slice some stuff with it, and carve some stuff with it, and chop some stuff with it, and see how it holds up. I really hope it holds up, because this is a beautiful knife. $21, and it has no fit issues. The fit is tight, and there are no gaps. Very good. You got stainless steel pins and kind of a decorative peen in the center there. Get it in there, right there, which looks really nice. Handguard is brass, and it's thick brass. I'm not usually a big one for the decorative file work, but this really works on this. I really like the way this knife works. The finish issue is relatively minor, and on a knife of this price tag, with this kind of a price tag, I'm not going to get too upset about it. If it was more expensive knife, then I would. I don't know if you can tell, but the pattern and the color on the scales, the handle scales, is different on each side, which means it came from a completely different wood. And in the sort, the scales don't match. One is significantly darker than the other, and the pattern is different. For a knife of this price, that's not a big issue. If you were paying more for a knife, you would expect the scales to match. I do like the feel of the knife. Because of my crappy audio, I have to be right up on here, so I got to be careful how I flip this thing. But it's nicely balanced. It flows well in the hand. It could be improved by being a bit longer. I have pretty big hands, and handle's just a little bit short for me. And it's coffin handled, which is why I bought it. I didn't have a coffin handled Bowie in my collection, but I would like to see more of a flare to lock it into the hand better, and that goes along with it being longer. But that's really the only thing I don't like about this knife so far. So we'll take it out and bash it around a bit and see what happens. Now, it's mystery steel. I'm thinking this is a pretty decent grade of 440 something. It may even be 440C. But one thing that the Timberwolf is, this is my second Timberwolf, and they didn't tell me what kind of steel it was on that knife either. So I'm thinking it's like a 440C. But it is pretty thick, and it does seem quite solid. The steel seems okay. Not great, but okay. See you at the war post. Okay, folks, we're at the war post. One thing I didn't mention is that this Timberwolf Daniel Boone Bowie did come decently sharp. It does pass the thumbnail test with these, and I have not sharpened it. We'll see how it holds that edge. Here we go. Okay, went through the angles of attack on thrust, and so far we're still really tight on all the fittings. Edge is holding up nicely. Now we'll go for some good hard wax. I'm going to turn that around. That whack went about a good quarter of an inch. And get one closer to the camera. Now this is a giving target, and we're still getting in. I'll bring it over closer to the camera, but we're still biting. That one went in maybe a half an inch. Okay, let's see how we do with straight thrust. That almost hung in there. This is a pretty heavy knife to try that with, but it is very nimble. I can show you that a little bit better now. It's a big knife, but it's got good balance, and it's really easy to use. Try the thrust again. There. Deep enough to support itself. Okay, let's try some actual chopping here. Gonna turn you around. No, I'm not gonna chop the fence. Okay, we'll do a little chopping, see if we can get through this. It's probably about an inch in diameter. Yeah, it's biting, but it's cold out here. My hands are freezing, and I'm really starting to feel that in my hands. But I batched up there. We still got a good edge. I'm going to go get some bottles to slice up. Turn you back over to the war post. Okay, let's see how we do against the bottles. We'll try to cut through one first. Okay. That cut was pretty clean across the handle here. Went through the handle quite well. We're going to try a different angle and see if we can get through a different part. Didn't quite get through on that swing. That might be my more technique than the knife. We'll try again. That's a little surprising. I got through, but not very well. I'm going to have to start rigging this up so I don't have a target that gives so much, I think. Let's try that again. Okay. That one opened it up quite good. I think a lot of it's just my technique. I need to practice more. Okay, we're going to go at this other water bottle on the other side now for the pierce and thrust. Excuse me, the pierce and flash. Okay, yeah. We've got some screwed up water bottles there, and I got that cold water all over my hands, and they're going to freeze up on me. So we're going to go in for the wrap up. And talk about this sheath, because the sheath is kind of annoying me. See you in a bit. Okay, I came in where it's warm. Got my hands dried off before they went numb. Before I do anything else, I didn't make a vampire deterrent with this one, because I wimped out on the cold. So we'll do that real quick here, and I'll have some shavings to sweep up. First of all, we need to get rid of the points on the other end of this already. Oops. Okay. Now, after all the bashing about, let's see what happens. We got green wet wood, and it's still very sharp. As you can see, it's bringing this to a point very quickly. And matter of fact, I get the tip too thin and it breaks off. But vampires beware. I've never really done any kind of feather sticking myself. Well, I have, but I'm not very good at it, and I haven't done it in a long time, but we'll see that since yeah, you're getting good curls out of this really easy. So edge retention is good, and it does have a nice choil here, which is very functional for stuff like that. Okay, so you saw it. I gave it a lot of good wax. Everything is still completely tight. The edge is okay. Maybe clean it off a little bit. It's got some splinters and whatnot on it. But the edge is really good. No rolls. It still passes the thumbnail test all the way down. Do I have any scrap paper to cut handy? What's this? No, I don't have any paper to cut. Yeah, maybe just this little thing doesn't prove much, but I'll do it. This is an old piece of drawing paper. So, I'm actually, for the money, 21 bucks from Timberwolf. I got this through Kennesaw Cutlery. Nice looking blade. Mismatched handle scales. But a very functional blade. It held up well. So good knife. But also, this is just one of those knives that's fun to have in your hand. It plays with, you can play with this and have a lot of fun with it very well. Now the sheath. I waited to mention the sheath because I hadn't worn it at all yet. And when I was making the video, first I put it on my belt on my right side, and that didn't work at all. And the reason is this, is that the retention is quite good even without the strap. It fits in there snugly and it doesn't go anywhere, right? But the problem with that is that it is so snug that even when you get the retention strap off, when you try to draw the knife on, and you're carrying it on with the loop on your right side, you can't. The sheath comes up with you. You have to reach around with your left hand and hold the sheath, which is awkward. So I wound up just tucking in my, as you saw out there, I wound up just tucking it in my belt and doing the cross draw. Now that may work itself out as the sheath matures if you use the knife a lot and bring it in and out. But I'm not going to be carrying this every day. This is a knife for my collection. Like I said, I didn't have a coffin-handled Bowie in my collection, which is primarily why I bought it. Also, I think this is a beautiful knife. And the sheath is a really nice leather sheath. It's double stitched like my other one, like my other Timberwolf. Real leather. Now I have heard on the internet in some places that these Timberwolf sheaths aren't very well treated. The leather isn't, and it leaches acid which will damage your blade. But I do not store, I don't know that for sure, because I don't store my blades in the sheaths. I have a display table. I think just on the side, I think I can show you. My blades in all their glory. I don't know how many of them I'm getting in frame, but there you go. Now, so I don't store them in the sheath. I don't know if that's true. The sheath is very well made. It'll last a long time. But the knife fits in there so tightly, there's no leg tie. You really have to do a cross draw so you can grasp the sheath with your weak hand, so you can draw the blade with your strong hand. Another thing, and this is a pet peeve with me, and also with my brother of the blade and his website and his YouTube channel, Donnie B all day, is a retention strap should not be. Poke myself a little bit, no blood. Should not be on the same side as the edge. Especially with a knife that you have to give a good tuck to get out of there, because you're going to wind up cutting your strap off with your knife. The strap should be on the other side so it goes over the part of the guard where the spine is. So the sheath is well made, but it has some design issues. But the knife itself is great. I am very not sorry that I bought this knife. This is going to be what I call my TV knife. This is going to be the knife that I play with when I'm sitting around watching TV. You knife people, you do it too. Don't deny it. So, I mean, for $21, this is going to be hard to beat. This you could take camping with you. You could use it as a hunting knife, survival situation, and I think you could depend on it. Now, does that mean that this would be the knife out of all the ones I just showed you, that if I was going to be out in the wilderness for a while, would this be the first one I take? No. But you could get away with it. You know, I've got an Ontario Spec Plus Survival. I've got a cold steel Bowie. Those would probably be my go-tos first. But you could get away with it with this. So, having said that, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, check me out on the YouTube, the Nutty Knife Guy. On BitChute, Nutty Knife Guy on BitChute. YouTube may leave me alone. They may let me grow the channel, but it's a knife channel, and they seem to have a thing against knife and gun channels. Mostly guns right now, but they'll come after the knife eventually. So I'm hedging my bets, and maybe you should too. A lot of YouTubers are going over to BitChute just in case. And having said that, remember to draw your knives only in just purpose. Sheathe them only in honor. And remember, without knives, life would be dull and pointless. I bid you goodbye.